I don't know if you guys caught a glimpse of that, but those were black skimmers. I'm actually out at Gulf Island National Seashore. Try saying that 5 times fast. They have a beautiful area that is roped off because they are working to protect their birds, especially that little guy right there that you just saw, because it is actually a very rare bird to see. Anyways, I'm super excited. I thought I was seeing some more there, so I got sidetracked. But needless to say, in this episode, we're going to learn more about those black skimmers, which are a species of high concern. We're also going to go ahead and learn about photography lighting, and we're going to go ahead and learn a general photography tip to kind of help you out when you're out in the field. So, needless to say, when I was out there at Pensacola back in, I want to say it was April and May when I was out there, and I was talking to some of the locals, and they were like, hey, have you seen the black skimmers? And I'm like, the black skimmers? And I'm like, they were like, oh, that's the bird that's got the longer bill, you know, that goes, the longer bill on the bottom and the top. I'm like, yeah, those guys are like so cool. And I'm like, you know, they got the black and the white belly with the orange, and I just absolutely fell in love with these birds and became fascinated by them. And then when the locals were telling me that these guys were not very common, it just obviously it piqued my interest a little bit more. And so I did some research, and their populations are decreasing. And basically in Florida, we have around 3,500 of them left. And I think around the world, it's around about 60,000 to maybe 75,000 left in the world. And the reason why we're losing, or these populations are decreasing for these birds, is because of one, you know, along the shorelines, this is where they nest, and we have, you know, hotels coming in and condominiums coming in. And so we have all that buildup of, you know, buildings around the shoreline. The other thing is sometimes you'll have humans or maybe dogs that will walk through the nesting sites, and as well, I mean, we also have those predators that naturally want to go ahead and eat those eggs too. The other thing that we have going on is we also have the sea level is also rising. So as the water is rising, we're starting to lose some of that shoreline. How do these birds nest? What they do is they actually dig a hole in the sand, and then they go ahead and lay their eggs in there. They're really cool in the fact that they are a bird that hunts by feel and not by sight. So with that lower bill being longer than their top one, what happens is they come into the water and they put their bill in the water and they skim it. And as soon as they catch a fish or feel a fish, their head kind of tilts back like this, and then they come up with the fish. They normally eat fish that are about 5 inches or smaller. I have heard that they also do some crustaceans like shrimp as well as crab, as long as it's like in the molting process, so it's like a soft shell crab, and that's the kind of food that they like to eat. So how can we protect these birds? We can protect these birds by staying out of their nesting sites. I noticed at Pensacola they had a rope around the nesting area, so it was pretty secure, but I'm sure there are other beaches that don't have the location as secure. So definitely keep your eyes peeled, because the eggs and the baby skimmers, once they're born, they're very well camouflaged, and so you might not see them and you could potentially step on them, and then unfortunately they would die at that point. So definitely stay out of, boy, I didn't know how to say that without sounding morbid. So just be aware of your surroundings and stay out of the nesting sites. The next bit is all about cleanup. So when you're out at the beach and you're enjoying the day, make sure you take all of the trash and everything that you brought with you. So, you know, if you have Coke cans or maybe a bag of chips, or, you know, the plastic bags that maybe you made a sandwich and have put the sandwich in, make sure you take that all with you. And here's a short clip about something that I got stuck in while I was out in the field. So I started to get tangled up in this bunch of fishing line. You know, I'm a fisherwoman, not a very good fisherwoman, but when I do go fishing, I make sure that I always clean up all the extra line, because that can get around other wildlife. So if you're out fishing, make sure you clean up your line, because I got caught in this and I was having a hard time getting out of it. I don't even want to know what it was like if I was a bird or something, didn't have hands to be able to get out. That'd be really bad. Anyways, A little bit of nature safety. So when I decided that I was going to make this video and I was recording out in the field, I really had no clue what this video was going to be about. So I'm sitting out here and I'm recording video and I'm having the mindset of wanting to do a YouTube video, and I have no clue what I'm doing, and now I realize there has to be a reason behind the madness of what you're doing. Because right now I don't know what I'm doing. But I got some cool shots so far. All I knew is I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I wanted to talk about nature and photography and get people to go explore the world and go have fun-filled adventures, and that's pretty much all I knew. So I didn't really photograph anything during the middle of the day at this time. So I am gonna go ahead and show you guys a couple of pictures, but you're gonna notice that the first two have nothing to do with Pensacola. They don't look, they're not even, like, one of them is about a bird and one of them is about a flower. But I needed some photographs shot earlier in the day to really give you that idea of how the different timing of the day affects the photographs. So up first, we're gonna go ahead and look at a bird that I photographed over at Lake Apopka. This is a cattle egret. This particular image was probably shot around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not a great image, honestly. It's a little embarrassing to show. The bird's not even looking at me. He's uninterested. But you notice on the back, though, for the purposes of what we're talking about, you can see that along his back, it's pretty much blown out. And then also, too, you have a lot of these very harsh, very contrasting shadows that are going on in this particular image, because, you know, we're looking at the sun. It's like almost directly above us at this point. The next image that you guys see was at a garden, and it's shot around 1 o'clock. And when you look at it, you can tell that I didn't have, you know, these green, I guess they're shells or something. I don't even know what these are. I just kind of found the plant fascinating, so I took a picture of it. And needless to say, you can tell that there's some highlights on the leaves. You can see that the green little shells are pretty bright. You can see that it's very contrasty on the shadows. They're very hard shadows. So whenever you're shooting in the middle of the day, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get those really hard shadows. And, you know, if you're doing like some type of photography where maybe you're shooting through like an archway or something, you can have fun with the shadows. So don't think that shooting in the middle of the day is a bad thing, because it's not, because you can get a totally different feel. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and check out some images starting around 6 o'clock. Before we get into the next set of images, let's talk about what is the golden hour and why do we always want to shoot around the golden hour time. Or you'll normally hear a lot of photographers like, oh, the golden hour, the golden hour, the golden hour. So what is the golden hour? Basically, it is going to be before the sun rises. Apparently, I don't know which way the sunrise is. The sunrise, it's going to be, I just totally dyslexia'd that. I don't even know if I said, if that's even a word, dyslexia'd that. Anyways, so when you have the sun and it's coming up, that would be the sunrise. So an hour after sunrise would be considered the golden hour, or as the sun is setting, that hour before the sunset would be considered golden hour. Now, why do people like to shoot during this time? It is because this is the time that you get those really soft shadows. You get a nice contrast, smooth, even lighting, because that sun is low in the sky. And not only that, you also get beautiful skies, and you also get this nice, warm, golden feel. So let's go ahead and take a look at this picture that I took around 6:46. I know, that's very specific. I do that. I say around 6:46, and 6:46 is very specific. But needless to say, this is a picture of a sanderling. Comparative to the images that we looked at a few moments ago, the whites aren't being blown out. So this is just a little bit before golden hour. So we're starting to get into that light, that nice light. Like I said, the belly's not blown out. You can see the details of the feathers of the bird, but we're not getting that warm glow yet. So let's go ahead and look at the next image. Here you see that nice, warm, glowing look to the image. If you notice, he has that warm glow coming in on his forehead, and you're getting nice even shadowing. You're getting that nice soft feel. And this particular image was taken at 7:58, and the sun was setting around 8:30 when I was taking these images. So it gives you an idea of how in just even, what, an hour, how much the lighting can change. Let's go ahead and take a look at 2 more images, and then we'll talk about that general photography tip, and then I'll show you the final image I got of the day. Here's a picture of a black skimmer taken at 7:19. As you guys can notice, we're starting to get in and get closer towards that golden hour time frame because the sun was setting at around 8:30 during this time. You notice that the shadows are very soft. It's nice even lighting. There was a lot of cloud coverage, so I really didn't get those pretty skies going on. But overall, it's not like you're getting those very harsh shadows, and also too, you're not getting it where the bird is blown out because it's, you know, not shot earlier on in the day. This picture of the black skimmer was taken at 8:10 in the evening time. We're about 20 minutes from sunset, so you're starting to really see that golden glow come through. You can tell that we're very, you know, nice soft shadows, not very contrasty there, and you just got that golden glow across the belly. So you can really see the difference between shooting earlier on the day versus closer or in that golden hour. Before I show you my favorite image that I took while I was out there and give you that general photography tip, let's go ahead and talk about the twilight hour. The twilight hour is really not an hour. It's only about 15 minutes depending on where you are in the world. So you have your horizon, and basically your sun is going to be below the horizon. So it's going to be 15 minutes before the sun rises, and then it's also going to happen when it's 15 minutes after the sun sets. That's when the twilight hour is. So when you look at this next particular image of a tern playing in the waves, absolutely adorable, these little guys, you're going to notice that you're going to have very, very super soft shadows. It's going to be very, very low contrast, and you're also going to get a blue hue on your images. If you are finding value in this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with others so that they can learn about their craft, learn about nature, and also go on some fun-filled adventures. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and check out that final general photography tip that I was going to give you guys. One of the things when you're doing photography, whether it's wildlife or it's nature or whatever you're doing in general, you've got to have patience. Patience is key. I've been out at this location for 4 days now, a couple hours, maybe 3 hours per night, and I finally got the shot that I was looking for with the black skimmers. So I'll be able to confirm once I get home, but in the meantime, I do believe I got it, but I'm going to spend a little bit more time out here before I lose complete sunlight. Anyways, that's a tip. You gotta be patient. Are you all ready to see the final image? This is the image that I had to be patient for. It is a picture of a black skimmer coming down for a landing with the sun right behind him or her. It's just beautiful. It was taken around 8 o'clock in the evening. I love how I have these 4 little birds just kind of chilling out. They're very soft with, you know, that nice depth of field. It's narrowing in on the black skimmer. The lighting in the back is coming through the wings. You got that nice golden glow all over the entire image, and it's just beautiful. And I just really absolutely love this image, and I was so happy when I saw it, and I really couldn't wait to get home and see it. And so when I plugged it into the computer and I saw it, I was like, yay! These are the kind of shots that people enjoy getting, and this is why a lot of photographers like to shoot around the golden hour time frame. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know your time is valuable. I hope you guys were able to learn something, whether it was about nature, photography, or you just had fun hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week. Taken around 7:19, and there you go with that being technical there. All right, so anyways, we're starting to get those softer shadows, not shooting. Hey, I'm trying to work here, Bo. Shh. Good. I'm out at the National Islands, the National Golf Islands Seashore. National Golf Islands Seashore. National Islands Golf Seashore. Try saying that 5 times fast.